Julian Alvarez to Chelsea. The January transfer window had barely settled into its usual rhythm when whispers began rising from Spain. Julian Alvarez was unsettled at Atletico Madrid. A year earlier, he had arrived in La Liga with grand expectations, hailed as the perfect Diego Simeone attacker, aggressive, relentless, and always ready to run through a brick wall for the team. And for months, he had done exactly that. But football changes quickly. As Atletico reshaped their squad with new signings, Alvarez found himself rotating more often, sometimes played wide, sometimes benched for tactical reasons. He respected Simeone deeply, but he wanted something more. A place to lead, not just follow. Chelsea, meanwhile, had been quietly monitoring the situation. Under Enzo Maresca, the club was evolving into a tactical machine built on pressing, fluidity, and smart combinations. The board understood the project needed a forward who could work between lines, press intensely, and score in big moments. And after months of scouting, one name stood above all others: Julian Alvarez. By mid-December, the first phone call was made. It was discreet, handled through intermediaries. The message was simple: if Alvarez is open to a new challenge, Chelsea are ready. And surprisingly, the response from Madrid was not a dismissal. Atletico valued Alvarez, but the players' camp quietly confirmed that he was open to a fresh chapter, one where he would be trusted as the focal point of the attack. Negotiations began to accelerate faster than anyone expected. Inside the offices at Stamford Bridge, the excitement was growing. Chelsea had identified Alvarez not as a gamble, but as a leader, someone who understood pressure at the highest level. The board framed the transfer not just as a signing, but as a statement, a world-class forward entering the new Chelsea era. The first official talks between the clubs took place in early January. Atletico demanded a huge fee, one that reflected the importance of the player. Chelsea didn't hesitate. They showed ambition, commitment, and a long-term vision that impressed all sides. But the decisive moment came when Enzo Maresca spoke directly with Alvarez on a video call. The coach explained his blueprint: positional play, intelligent movement, pressing triggers, and the role of a false nine who could also strike like a traditional finisher. Alvarez listened carefully, nodding as Maresca described exactly how he would fit into the system. When the call finished, he turned to his agent and simply said, "This is where I want to be." From that moment, the deal moved with speed and precision. Madrid accepted Chelsea's final offer, a combination of a large fee and performance bonuses, and granted Alvarez permission to travel to London for his medical. At Barajas Airport, he wore a long coat and a cap pulled low, but the cameras still found him. Within minutes, social media was exploding with photos tagged #Alvarez to Chelsea. He landed in London on a cold, foggy night. Chelsea officials escorted him straight to Cobham, where the medical staff worked through the early hours. Everything went smoothly. As the sun began to rise, he signed the contract. Years of commitment to a club ready to make him a centrepiece. A few hours later, Chelsea released the announcement. The video was cinematic. Alvarez walking through an empty Stamford Bridge, the blue lights reflecting off the seats, the camera following his footsteps. He placed his hand on the Chelsea badge and whispered, "This is my new home." Fans across the world erupted with excitement. The club shop website crashed within minutes from the demand for shirts with his name. Training began the next morning. Cobham buzzed with energy the moment he stepped onto the pitch. His new teammates welcomed him warmly, some offering jokes, others testing his sharpness with quick passes in rondos. But what impressed everyone was his intensity. Even in simple drills, Alvarez moved with purpose, pressing, shouting, adjusting his position. Maresca watched from the touchline with a satisfied smile. This was exactly the player he had imagined in his system. During tactical sessions, Maresca explained Alvarez's role in detail. The Argentine forward quickly adapted, drifting between defenders, dropping to link play, launching quick bursts behind the backline. His understanding of movement made the training rhythm smoother, and the coaching staff commented privately that he looked like he had been in the squad for months. The fans had to wait just 6 days for his debut. Chelsea were hosting a difficult league opponent under the lights at Stamford Bridge. The stadium was electric, blue flags waving, chants echoing, anticipation building. When Alvarez's name was read in the starting lineup, the roar was deafening. The first half was tense. Chelsea dominated possession, but couldn't break the deadlock. The opponent defended deep, refusing to give space. But Alvarez remained patient, dropping between lines, connecting passes, and unsettling defenders with his sharp turns. Then, in the 61st minute, the moment came. Cole Palmer slipped a clever pass between two defenders. Alvarez darted forward, took the ball with a perfect first touch, and unleashed a low, curling strike into the bottom corner. Stamford Bridge erupted. Fans screamed, flags swung wildly, and Maresca lifted both arms in triumph. Alvarez sprinted toward the corner flag, sliding on his knees before pointing to the badge on his chest. It was a declaration. The new era had begun. But he wasn't finished. In the final minutes, Chelsea launched a counter-attack. Alvarez received the ball near the halfway line, shrugged off a defender, and delivered a brilliant through pass that led to the second goal. The stadium exploded again. He had transformed the match. The media reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Headlines across England and Spain praised Chelsea's decisiveness and vision. Pundits called Alvarez's debut one of the best in years. Some even argued he was the missing piece of the puzzle, a forward with intelligence, work ethic, and the ability to decide games under pressure. At Cobham the next day, Maresca addressed the team. He didn't hide his pride. "Julian has come here to bring something important," he told the squad. "But remember, his success is your success. Our structure allows him to shine. And with him, we all rise higher." Alvarez slowly began to settle into London life. He was struck by the passion of the fans, the intensity of the league, and the professionalism of the club. He spent extra hours at training, studying Maresca's tactical models, working on his combinations with midfielders, and perfecting patterns of play. His dedication became contagious, inspiring younger players to raise their level. Match after match, he continued to deliver. He scored from long range, from tight angles, from clever link-ups. His pressing caused chaos in defensive lines, and his understanding with Palmer, Nkunku and Caicedo grew stronger each week. Stamford Bridge embraced him as their new symbol of belief. Atletico Madrid supporters, though disappointed, respected his decision. Simeone himself called him privately to congratulate him, telling him he understood the need for a new challenge. The Argentine forward expressed deep gratitude, promising that the lessons he learned under Simeone, hard work, sacrifice and discipline, would always stay with him. Months later, journalists began calling the transfer one of the best winter moves in Premier League history. Chelsea's trajectory shifted upward, the dressing room grew more united, and the fans finally felt a sense of direction. And at the centre of it all stood Julian Alvarez. The forward who left Madrid, embraced the pressure of London, and became the heartbeat of a new Chelsea era.